first visit by the Los Angeles Kings here in Tampa Bay since February 7, 2012. Let's meet our starting goaltenders, brought to you by your Southern Ford dealers.
Played the first 4 games rather, and had the game off against Florida. You see the numbers he's put up in those 5. 3-2, 2.64 averaged. Ben Bishop, perfect, 3-0. Beautiful numbers. That goals against and that save percentage up close to .930. Don Cooper behind the bench for the Lightning, and the guy that took them to their only Stanley Cup, Daryl Sutter. That happened in 2012. He's behind the bench.
Dan O'Rourke's the referee to drop the puck. He works with Mark Lemelin, the linesman David Brisebois, and Shane Heyer. As Robin Regehr came over from Buffalo late last year on the Kings defense with Drew Doughty. Lost the puck. The pass across. Stamkos the shot. Tipped by Quick behind the net. St. Louis found him with a pass. Sammy Settle shooting. He scores! 19 seconds in. 1-0 Lightning.
Well, you always want a good start, and especially here. I think L.A. was trying to kind of cozy into this game. They almost had scored there. That pass was deflected. It's Quick made a real nice save on the backhand to Stamkos, but the Lightning kept on it. And then Sammy Salos, long shot from the point. It had to go through about 3 players, and that's just getting it on the net. He wasn't trying to overpower anybody, just getting it on the net. And Sal picks up the goal, his first.
And the first by a Lightning defenseman. Chief, as you pointed out, 11 assists produced by that defense crew. They're certainly joining the attack and have been effective, but that's the first goal they've scored. Justin Williams, who hit the 500-point plateau in the 3-0 win over the Panthers on Sunday. Part of this line with Anze Kopitar, as well as Dustin Brown, their captain. Pass out in front. Valtteri Filppula with it. Reaching for it, it's Williams. Alex Killorn trying to come up with it. Willie Mitchell will hold it in. Williams works against Matt Carl. Kopitar. Bring it back to Justin Williams on the cycle for the Kings. A shot by Voinov. It's tipped by Kopitar and a save by Bishop. Slava Voinov, who can provide some offense from the defense position, helping out on that occasion. Good session for the Kings here. They're trying to respond from giving up that goal, and they will draw a penalty at 1:20 of the first period.
I think it's going to be an interference call. Brown was knocked down. I think it's Gudas that's going off for the interference. Well, let's take a look at the goal, and we're going to see it on Fox.
Tampa Bay number 7, 2 minutes, interference.
There's the shot. Watch it coming in here, and then it gets hit. Oh, it goes right off the right skate of Ryan Malone. So Foxborough shows us, and boy, what a great shot that was. So it goes on to Ryan Malone for the goal, his first. Gudas picks up the interference call. L.A. gets the first power play.
Well, then a 12th assist for the defense.
Yeah, exactly. Let's put it this way. You can't score a goal without an assist most times.
Voinov and Doughty man the points. Here's a shot by Jeff Carter, a save by Bishop. Or we've got 2 of the greatest releases in hockey on display tonight with Steven Stamkos and Jeff Carter.
Boy, yeah, Carter can really shoot that puck, and he's really good on the faceoffs. He played a lot of center in Philadelphia, but he's played mostly on the wing in L.A. There's that quick release. And we saw how Pittsburgh was very successful on the power play with that pass back to the point and the quick release by their defense.
Toyota power play chance for the Kings. They're at 25%. The Lightning on the kill. This is the area that they certainly want to get back in the beam on. At 68.2%, 26th in the league. And, of course, the numbers get skewered pretty extremely one way or the other quite often in the early season. But Lightning have allowed 7 goals while shorthanded in the last 4 games. So they want to get that taken care of. And an opportunity to do so early on here with Kopitar carrying it in for L.A., trailed by Eric Brewer. Carter joins Kopitar in the corner. Back out to Voinov. He was a big star in their 2012 Stanley Cup push. As with the puck, it's Mike Richards. Kopitar with it out to the point to Doughty. Going to get set up here. Kopitar sends it back across. Drew Doughty getting it now to Carter. Lines up with a wrist shot. He'll take it. A save by Bishop with a rebound. Voinov is stopped by Bishop. Kopitar tried to center. Richards with it. Back up top to Carter. Another try, and it's deflected by Thompson out of play. 30 seconds to go on the call against Gudas.
Well, I'll tell you what, you need your goaltender to be your best penalty killer. And right now, he has been that. He's made a number of pretty good saves off the Kings, and they really got to the loose puck when there has been a rebound. But Bishop has been very quick to get over there and cover any part of the net that they were trying to get the puck through.
Carl playing it behind the net. Valtteri Filppula with it. Chased by Jarrett Stoll, and it's cleared out.
That was a nifty new move by Stamkos, and putting that face-off, reaching over top of the guy and pushing it back into the corner.
Malone does get credit for the goal off his skate, his first goal of the season. And Salo and Marty St. Louis got the assists on the goal. And for St. Louis, point number 900. As Green carrying it out to center. Bishop lets it go. Hedman after it. There's a try by Willie Mitchell. It dribbled in on Bishop. Through a screen. He reacted late, but he reacted well. Makes a stop on Brown here as the Lightning kill that penalty. Get back to full strength and protecting their 1-0 lead. Stamkos alone. Saved by Quick.
Boy, well conceived play. I think Stamkos just ran out of room to try and control that puck, and he was going so fast.
Dan Carcillo lost the handle to Stamkos. Playing it back to Malone. St. Louis will pressure Carcillo. Came over from the Blackhawks for a conditional draft pick. Bouncing puck. Rolls back to Bishop. We'll play it out of the trapezoid to the corner. St. Louis picks it up there. Looks for Andre Schuster. Passes by the stick of Malone. Comes to center. LA 6 shots here in the early going.
They had 3 on that power play, Rick. 3 good ones as well.
Doughty and Regehr on defense behind Mike Richards with Carter. Reunited, of course, teammates as soon as they came into the NHL with the Philadelphia Flyers. And here's Doughty, stick handling to the slot. Looks for the backhand. Saved by Bishop. Took it off the chest. Boy, when he looks big in goal, he really looks big, and he needed all of that there, Chief.
He did. A bad turnover by the Lightning. They had control of the puck near the blue line, and they didn't bad pass or back pass into the zone. Failed to get it out.
Bishop tangled up with a Kings player in that goal mouth.
Lost the stick as well.
It was Carter and Dwight King in that goal mouth as well for much of that time. Here's Thompson back the other way, and Cedric Labrie deflects the pass just wide. Richard Panik comes on. Played better than 20 minutes against the Penguins the other night. Out of that power play time with Ryan Malone serving a fighting major. And then later on a misconduct. Puck deflected in by Alex Killorn. Willie Mitchell missing all last year with a knee injury. Pass ahead for Kopitar. Bust through a check. Well, he's very fast. He's also a good size centerman as well. Hedman challenged in there by Williams. Killorn couldn't get it out. Voinov steps into one and it's blocked as Hedman and Filppula got in the way of that one. Kopitar controls the puck. It was his line that had the Lightning hemmed in for quite a spell, and then that led to the Gudas penalty. Voinov out in front. Williams alone just tried to redirect it, and he sent it just wide of Bishop. Filppula. And stick handle around a pair of Kings.
Well, they had a slow start for the first minute, but they certainly picked up the pace here, LA. Boy, they've been controlling this place so much here. They've had the puck all the time.
Tyler Johnson backhands to center. 2-on-2 with Purcell. Steps in on the weave with Andre Palat. Back for Purcell, and he was well covered. Kyle Clifford gets it back at center. Now for Matt Fratton, formerly with the Maple Leafs, he and goaltender Ben Scrivens coming from the Leafs for Jonathan Bernier. Here's a shot of the point by Matt Green and wide. You could say both Bernier and Scrivens are off to good starts with their new teams.
Yeah, I'll say Scrivens, fourth goalie in LA history to have his first game result in a shutout.
And that was Sunday afternoon against the Panthers. A very happy Ryan Malone gets his first goal of the season. 1-0 Bolts.
1-0 hockey game. Ryan Malone has put the Bolts in front with defenseman Eric Brewer now at the Bolt bench. You were out there on that penalty kill, Eric, just the entire time against Hansa Kopitar in this very deep Kings team. Down a man. What must you do to be successful?
Well, we really got to make them earn their plays. They're really good with short little passes and kind of getting you out of position, kind of your feet twirled around. So just be hard on them, make hard plays, keep the puck moving forward.
Thanks. We wish you well. Rick, Chief.
Thanks, Paul.
Yeah, well, we sure witnessed that nice little puck control they had. And that's, you know, a lot of the teams in the West, Rick, really play that more than anybody. I mean, more often than the teams in the East here. I mean, everybody likes to have that puck control, but the West seems to have mastered a little bit better than most of the teams in the East.
You got some big clubs at the top of the list in the Western Conference. San Jose, St. Louis, the Kings. And Daryl Sutter, the coach of the Kings, talking this morning about the line changes he's made. He switched a couple of centermen. Here's a shot that's just sent wide by Matt Carl. And for him, it's all about line balance. He says you got to have 4 solid lines in that Western Conference. He says if you try to get by with a couple of guys or one big line, he says you'll never win. You got to have that balance. That's what he's after. And that's what the Kings featured, and that's what he was able to get across to them fairly quickly the year they won the Cup. He took over in December from Terry Murray, and they were having all sorts of problems scoring goals that year, but they managed to score enough and quick stopped enough, and they won the Cup.
The West is a lot more travel as well. There's a lot.
Here's a breakaway for St. Louis on Quick. Saved by Quick. He got his blocker on it.
Oh, he did. And you saw how far out he comes, and he really gets out there and challenges you. You can take it wide on him if you might have a better chance, but still, he's that quick to get back and cover that post as well when he's out that far.
St. Louis involved in a puck battle with big Dwight King, who goes 6'4" and 230 pounds. Malone has it for the Lightning, starts it into St. Louis, looking toward the net, decides to shoot, and it's stopped there by Quick. Carter out ahead for Mike Richards. King with him on the rush. Hedman getting organized defensively, helped by Stamkos. And Stamkos shoves him off the puck. Carter couldn't handle the bouncing puck. Now he'll shoot, and it's blocked in front by Hedman. King working against Salo. They know each other well from Sammy's days in the Western Conference for the Vancouver Canucks. Palat had the puck taken away by Kopitar.
That's the kind of play that we were talking about that Kopitar is so good at. He's good offensively, but man, does he get back and play deep.
Justin Williams plays it off the corner boards. Brewer moving it to Tyler Johnson. Pull out across for Teddy Purcell. Gets the line, leaves it. Schuster fires it. He sends it wide. Palat hands it to Johnson. He'll shoot. Kicked out by Jonathan Quick. Rink wide pass for Dustin Brown. A right-hand shot who plays that left side. Bishop rifles it up off the glass and back to center very effectively. Both teams changing now, and Schuster's got a little time with 9:42 to go in the first period. Shots 7 apiece. Both teams have had some excellent chances. Richard Panik, and he missed that hip check attempt by Matt Green. Lightning have it. Built to centers into the skates, though, of Killorn. Quickly, the Kings bring it out to Kyle Clifford. Cuts to the middle, backhand try, steered away by Bishop. Puck left for Fratton, and the referee trapped in there as well. Away comes Killorn. Plugs it to the red line. Trying to step around Alec Martinez. Green quickly gets it around and out.
First icing. Well, they kind of weathered that press or that surge by LA. They've gotten to their equilibrium. But boy, the Lightning had a great opportunity to go up by 2. Marty St. Louis on a breakaway, but look how far Quick is out there. He tried to go high on that stick side, just caught the bottom part of the blocker, and Quick well out on that angle. Very, very active goaltender, very agile in there. He can move out and back very quickly.
Salo back for the rolling puck. Out ahead for Malone, winds it to the middle of the ice. It reaches Marty St. Louis. Hedman trying to step into the attack. Does get the pass, but he was right in stride going toward the net. Had a little opening, but the pass was tipped. St. Louis checked by Drew Doughty. He was taken right behind Steven Stamkos in the 2008 draft. Nolan gets the line. Going to play that puck through. And it's left behind the net. Gudas gets to it. Doughty pinches in. Stamkos got it loose from Doughty. They used to play each other all the time in the OHL. Stamkos playing for Sarnia and Doughty for Guelph, but they haven't really met very often since they've come into the NHL. Crombie taken away there by Regehr. Away comes Carter, caught up to by B.J. Crombie. Bishop backs into the trapezoid. Mitchell has to back off. Here comes Labrie. Thompson trailing. Labrie cuts wide on Voinov. And Thompson trying to get it out in front. He had an opening for a moment, but didn't have much time to handle that puck.
It'll be a quickly played game. LA has a very good transition game. Lightning will have to match it, and they've kind of calmed down a little bit now, and they're getting that transition going here in the middle part of this first period.
So the Lightning fourth line there, they averaged about 6 minutes a man in the Pittsburgh game. Not that much, but John Cooper said he hoped to get them more ice time tonight. There's a shot by Purcell. He scores! He found the top corner on Jonathan Quick. Lightning in front 2-0.
The speed that Teddy goes through on that blue line, that's such a key for him. Because when he can watch this now, he just really gets to the outside on that defenseman and is able to get it back to the forehand. Now, when you're on that backhand, bring it back to the forehand, being that right-handed shot down that left side. Look how much it opens up that far side over the glove. He opens up at least 2 more feet on that side, which gives him a way better angle to score, and he promptly put it up top for his 4th of the year.
Now points in 5 consecutive games now for Purcell and for St. Louis, who assisted on the first point. Not only his 900th point, but keeps his streak alive. Teddy scoring his first career goal against the team with whom he started his National Hockey League career.
But take a look when you see it. You see that great speed coming down the side. Once you get that defenseman to your on equal terms, you got it. But you see him take it back to the forehand. You show the goalie the backhand play, and so he has to get over there and get square to the puck. When you bring it back to the forehand, that opens up that side. If the goalie doesn't move, he's got all that top side to shoot at. That's where Purcell put it.
Hooking penalty upcoming to Ryan Malone. Off that face-off, he'll go to the box at 13:09. The Lightning will try to kill another penalty, this time in support of a 2-0 lead on goals by Malone and Teddy Purcell.
2-0 Lightning lead. You see the time remaining in the first period. We're looking at Marty St. Louis, and he's tonight's diamond performance brought to you by Ackerman's Jewelers. As you see there, that assist on the first goal by Ryan Malone gave him 900 points in his career with the Tampa Bay Lightning. You see how it's broken down with goals and assists. What an achievement for an undrafted player. And it's our diamond performance brought to you by Ackerman Jewelers. Congratulations, Marty.
Well, you look at 900 points, you'd say, boy, that's got to take a long, long time to achieve. It hasn't seemed like it's been that long, Chief.
No, it doesn't. We've seen every game he's played. Well, I'll tell you what, that just shows you the consistent excellence that he has every year.
And Malone in the box for hooking. Here comes Carter. He's got a couple of power play goals to start the year. Voinov behind to Richards. Room to walk in front. Couldn't stuff it home on Bishop. Bishop been very busy on shots from in close. Doughty the big drive. It's steered away by Johnson. And Carl makes no mistake in clearing.
I think one thing you'll see a little different here on the penalty kill tonight is that when the Lightning have a chance, they'll get it out quickly. A few of the times in a couple of goals that Pittsburgh scored, they didn't get it out cleanly enough, even when they had an opportunity to do it.
Kopitar from Slovenia, leaving it for Richards. Back to Kopitar, walks it in, looks for Carter, taken away by Crombeen. DJ Crombeen gets to the forehand for a sturdier clear, and it's tipped back on Quick. A minute gone on the penalty to Malone. Doughty to center. Rifles it to the corner. Too hot to handle for Bishop. Gudas can't chop it away from Brown. 3 Kings on him. He got it loose to Filppula. Scrambles after it to sail it back through center.
Much more controlled penalty kill than the first one.
Justin Williams, power play veteran. Won a couple of cups with the Kings as well as the Hurricanes in 2006. Garrett Stoll gets that puck under control. Stoll has it again, looks for opening, shoots, and it's knocked down in front. Battle on goal, a save by Bishop. He makes a second save in there with Brown in tight, and Stoll can't hold it in. 17 seconds of the power play.
For the first 15 minutes, any indication, Rick, Ben Bishop's really tracking that puck well. He's finding it and getting to it quickly.
Stamkos keeping an eye on the Kings here in the closing moments of the call against Malone. Ryan leading the Lightning with 26 minutes in the box, steps out on the ice, and the Lightning have killed 2 penalties, and they've scored 2 goals, have a 2-0 lead. White Kings pass was scuffed, and away comes Stamkos. He'll challenge Green, coming in with Killorn, and the back-checking White King ripped the puck away. Brewer. Puck deflected in by Killorn. Talked to Alex about his penchant for shooting the puck. Stamkos fires in front, deflected wide by Malone. And Killorn says, you know, I've always led my teams. He said, when I was in college, I led the league in shots on goal every year. I just feel that I can make some plays off shots. As with the puck, Malone settles it down. It's Stamkos around the net, but he's occupied by the 234-pound Matt Green. Has it again and shoots. Stopped by Quick. He covers it up, gets a whistle under 4 minutes to play in the opening period. Well, the offense from Malone and Purcell. At the other end, it's been Ben Bishop, and he has come up big. These men have the goals, Lightning up 2-0. Tonight's Tampa Bay Lightning telecast in Sun Sports, presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. Purcell, a former member of this organization, still a few of the Kings that he played with in Manchester, the American Hockey League. Purcell out there with Tyler Johnson, as well as Andre Palat. Brewer playing it back to Andre Schuster. Checked in there by Trevor Lewis. One of those players. And Palat gets the pass across to Brewer. Lifting it out to center. And it comes down to the feet of Purcell.
But they're going to call a fair catch on that one. They were waiting for that puck for so long.
And remember, you can't block the guy into the receiver.
You know, I mean, it was still up there so long. I was expecting somebody to put their arm up. That would have been funny if they did.
Schuster. Both teams changing. Brewer delays for a moment till the forwards can join the flow. Tipped by Killorn to the line. Veteran Willie Mitchell after it there. Now Hedman coming on for Brewer. Mike Richards moving it into King. Takes the shot. It's tipped away by Hedman. Comes back to Mitchell. He's bumped there by Richard Panik. Killorn finds the puck. Ahead for Filppula. Richards went for the hit and missed. Quick handles it. Gave it up to Killorn. Panik trying to get it under control in a hurry, as he had an opportunity to get in front, but that would have been pretty quick operating to get there ahead of Jonathan Quick. And we're going to say that how many times tonight, Chief? He's quick. Here's Killorn. Gets it on goal. It's steered away by Quick.
It's a good play in this part of the Lightning. It's just that the sideboards in this rink have crazy bounces.
Bishop took that one up high. The shot by Carcillo. And Carcillo and Gudas now jawing as Gudas stepped up to make a hit at the blue line. And Bishop recovering, and it looks like he's okay.
Well, he took that one straight off the jaw. And knocked the puck loose. Right, you see right there, he just missed that check, Gudas, and then here comes the shot right there. Big shot. It got up there very, very quickly. You see something like that, Rick? I still can't believe I never wore a mask for so long. That's crazy. Those things right there, that's one of the most important part of the goaltender's equipment.
Yeah.
Thank goodness they don't make those smaller.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to make that piece of equipment any smaller. But all those years without a mask, and you're here to tell us about it.
Yeah. A little funny, but they're here.
Flashbacks occasionally.
Yeah.
Red light goes off.
Oh, traffic lights kill me.
Well, Bishop okay. Everything settles down. Gordon Nolan, his dad, Ted. Former Adams Award winner as Coach of the Year in the NHL. The Sabres back in the 90s, and of course most recently with the New York Islanders. And he's found a nice niche for himself with the Kings. Pass around for Carcillo. Lead pass for Nolan, and it's broken up by Hedman. Read that play, stepped up to fire it back for Crombie. They just missed connections. Just a reminder to stay tuned. Later in the telecast for your Chevrolet moments in Lightning history. Of course, the night that the day, I should say, the Phil Esposito statue was unveiled, December 31st, 2011.
I think you'll see this line play a lot more, as you mentioned, John Cooper saying that because you couldn't get him enough, but also against this LA team, it's big and grinding. And you need size to match it.
Shooting knocked down. Oh, the shot off the post by Brown, worked away by Labrie. It's fired in behind the net. Around it comes to Mitchell, able to get there in time. And deep to Williams, tried to wrap it in front, anticipated by Hedman. Hedman takes him right to the boards. Thompson matched up with Kopitar. Voinov wrists it, hit Labrie. And Kopitar and company forced back through center under a minute to go in the first period. And a quick up now to Justin Williams, leaving it for Kopitar on the boards. Now trying to get it in front. That was blocked. Kopitar has it again. This time St. Louis reached down to block the pass. And it's Stamkos one-on-one with Regehr. In for St. Louis. And Stamkos fires it, stopped by Quick. Stamkos came up with it, sent it behind St. Louis. And Stamkos checked by Voinov. The puck is frozen by Quick at the side of the goal.
Well, I'll tell you what, Bishop made a tremendous save, and then that crossbar bailed him out on the rebound. This was a big save right there, but he couldn't get to the loose puck. As you see, all three Kings in that slot area, and when that happens, you got to bring guys down there as well to help. But there it is, right off the crossbar. So that's what LA's doing right now. They're just throwing the puck in the middle there and have those big bodies go get them. That brings another couple of people in from the defensive end. So you're having 5 guys, 6 guys in front of that goaltender. You really got to be able to track the puck when that happens.
Carter at 70% the face-off circle to start the season. When he's called upon, very effective. Kings clear it down the ice here with 15 seconds to go in the period. And Carter with a puck. Stolen from behind by St. Louis. And tapped away by Stamkos to center. Shots 11-10 Lightning. Unofficially with that 2-0 lead here in the final moments of period 1. And there's the horn. Well, stay tuned for the Honda First Intermission Report. Here's what's coming up. Ryan Malone visits with Paul Kennedy. And Lightning players and coaches talk about Valtteri Filppula's influence on the team. And he certainly made a great impression here in the early going. Dave Andreychuk talks about the first period. We'll have highlights and stats, comments from Chief as well. So stay with us here. Intermission number 1 for the Tampa Bay Times Forum. in both nets in that first period. Welcome back inside the Tampa Bay Times Forum. And the Lightning have a 2-0 lead. And Chief John Cooper said this morning, every game seems to be a test. He was anxious to see how his team would match up with the Kings and the physical test they present. Early results are pretty positive right now.
They really are. I mean, obviously, when you take a look at the shots on goal, very, very close. Lightning up by 1. Zone time maybe favors the Kings. Those 3 power plays could really help them in that area. But I thought the Lightning really handled the surges by the Kings quite well in that first period. They got back and started to really get some of their offense. They were coming out much cleaner with about 5 or 6 minutes to go in that period.
Let's have a look at the stats. The 2 power plays belonging to LA, but the shots favoring the Lightning. And even in the scoring chances, Lightning with that breakaway by Marty St. Louis and some other opportunities against Quick. Even pretty much in the hits, with the Lightning having the slight edge there. A couple of things I noticed on the stat sheet, Chief, that you look for from game to game. The team might want to adjust on. The Lightning, 18 shots against the Penguins. 14 shots were blocked in that game. In the first period tonight, they attempted 16 shots and 11 on goal. So they're getting some through. And at the same time, the face-off percentage, while shorthanded, Cooper was concerned about that from the other night. They won 3 of 4 against the Kings on LA's power play.
Yeah, that's that's the one thing that I like about it is that
right around the net. Here's Carter going to work very quickly, Chief.
Boy, Bishop tried to get a pass to him, and he couldn't get the shot past Carter, and it came very dangerously close to them putting this game a 1-goal game.
They've been working with Salo, the pass through Salo's legs. Here's a quick shot, and Bishop the save there on King. Carter misfires, backhands, he scores, and they wave it off. O'Rourke has waved it off as Carter misfired on the forehand, went to the backhand. Everybody had reacted on his forehand try, and Richards was in the goal mouth and collided with Bishop. So the officials are going to talk it over here, and it looks like the goal's being disallowed for that reason, but we'll have to wait for the official call.
2 tremendously bad giveaways by the Lightning has resulted in this controversy right now. Bishop gave the puck badly before. Carter almost snuck it in the side. Now this one here, it was a bad pass that went right through Sammy Salo's legs. He couldn't handle it. Lightning weren't back and getting it. And now we couldn't hear the announcing, but I guess he's calling goalie interference on Mike Richards, and Richards is trying to say that he was pushed into the goalie by Salo. And that you can see Bishop right there wondering why I'm not calling. He did make that call, but the Lightning got to be much crisper and much more diligent in that puck management in their zone.
Inadvertent contact with Bishop, so no penalty results, but the goal is disallowed as Panik pressures Mitchell. Filppula swoops in there on Kopitar. He's played almost 9 minutes in that first period. Lightning trying to come up with something at the other end. It's Filppula. His pass to Killorn. Tap to the boards. Williams takes it. He'll ease the pressure. Killorn with it. Cross for Panik. Filppula backhands it in. Lightning will change. Well, after the Lightning scored the game-opening goal at 19 seconds of the first period, and the goal deflecting it off the skate of Malone, the Kings tried to turn the tables on him in the opening moments of the second period. Bring the whole gang to a Lightning game and save with a group ticket purchase. Groups of 10 or more get in at a discounted price, and the group leader gets 2 complimentary tickets to an upcoming game. Book your next group right now by calling 813-301-6900. Dustin Brown, Tyler Johnson on the faceoff, and Brown would not put that stick down. The visiting centerman's got to put that stick in the circle first, and for some reason, he didn't want to commit as far as that was concerned. Well, Johnson gets tossed out by Shane Heyer.
Keeps teasing everybody in there. You know what? And that time, Kopitar got the stick down second.
Purcell bumped by Williams. Brown back for it. Pressured in there by Andre Palat. And the puck is lobbed out to center. Recovered by Schuster. Brewer. You talk about 900 being a number for St. Louis now with his point total in a Lightning uniform. 900 games is the next target for Eric Brewer. This is game number 894 for the 15-year veteran. Here's a shot by Francis, saved by Bishop. And the rebound escaped the clutches of Kyle Clifford out in front. Purcell's pass beyond the reach of Palat. Out ahead for Matt Fratton. With it, Lewis, his shot steered away by Bishop. Crombeen takes it for the Lightning. Across for Labrie. Little bump with Green. Two big bodies there. Labrie won that battle. Couldn't center. Still has it, though. Swings in front and shoots himself. It's blocked by Alec Martinez. Lewis off the glass support. Stayed in the zone for a moment. And it ends up with Fratton. His shot is directed away by Hedman, who blocked 3 shots in the opening period. Crombeen stepped into by Stoll. Hedman gets it back from Salo and lost the handle on it. Out in front, Stoll couldn't get turned around with a puck. Another dicey moment in the Lightning zone.
They've got to be much more in sync to that puck where it is. The forwards, they get a little bit too quick to get out of their zone. They're getting a little too far ahead. And one of the reasons that happens is that they think that you're going to get the puck up quickly. The defense hesitate, then there's too much of a gap to make that outlet pass, and turnovers have happened.
Sammy Salo trudges off. He'll receive a high sticking penalty at 3:08.
Tampa penalty number 6, 4 minutes, high stick.
4 minutes. This is a huge part of the game right now. The stick come in, and obviously an inadvertent high stick, but it did cut Stahl. Penalty kill have to really, really be good here now.
In part to answer the need to win more faceoffs shorthanded, Tyler Johnson out there. Of course, as we've noted, he's been over 60% last year with the team, and this year to start, Lightning got control, couldn't clear. On this try, they do, and Johnson stays out there with Palat. Doughty, 4th in the league in ice time, with better than 26 minutes a game, and the league leader, Ryan Suter, will be next in town on Thursday with his Minnesota Wild. Carter takes a bump from Gudas. Carl takes care of the puck. Round to Johnson. He'll send it out. Suter paired with the very talented young Swedish defenseman Jonas Brodin. They'll play about half the game. We'll look forward to that matchup with the Wild on Thursday.
One of the things the Lightning and Rick Bowness wanted to have happen on the penalty kill is that we get more pressure on the puck carrier. I thought they backed off and allowed guys to make the play a little bit too easily against Pittsburgh. This will be very evident here. They must have to really get on that puck carrier now.
Doughty holding it in here. An extended Toyota power play for the Kings. That shot stopped by Bishop as he hugged the post on the shot by Carter. Doughty for Carter. He'll shoot from anywhere. Brewer was occupied there. He couldn't get it out on the forehand, but Filppula gets the job done. 2:38 on the double minor.
Almost looks like Richards kind of interfered with him to get to that loose puck.
Doughty cruising through center. Continues on. Stamkos got it loose. Cleared by Malone. The Clippers been using a lot of different forwards. Get a little ice time killing penalties to this point, Chief, and then a double minor. That's a good thing. You're going to need a lot of guys.
Exactly. And you want to get those players in the game, too. If they're responsible, this is a good way to do it.
Kings come up with it. Stoll at the point. Over for Martinez. Fires a save by Bishop. The rebound by Williams. Directed away by Hedman. He got a piece of it. Brown keeps it alive for L.A. Out for Stoll. Martinez. Williams walks it in, looks for the shot, takes it, and Bishop to save. Rebound couldn't be cleared, and it's kept down low for L.A. And Brown working it back for Williams. Martinez once again shooting, and this one is tipped wide. 1:36 to go on the remaining time on Salo's double minor. Martinez, Stoll looks, fires, and it skims off Bishop, off the glass, and all the way back to the LA zone. Lightning with a long change will do just that.
We've managed 3 shots on goal so far.
Kopitar steps inside on Palat with a terrific move. A lot of moves from a 6'3", 224-pounder. Here's a drive and a save by Bishop, coming out to meet the shot by Doughty. Richards waits, tried to gather it in, couldn't reach it. Palat overskates it. Carter centers, and it's backhanded away by Johnson. And away comes Andre Palat. Waits, and now he's got Johnson joining him. The Lightning changing up ice. He'll occupy the Kings, absorbs a hit from Doughty. 40 seconds now to go on the Kings' 3rd and 4th power play opportunity. Stepping up St. Louis. King didn't take it. Puck driven away by Hedman.
Well, I'll tell you what, this will be a big boost in that PK's confidence.
Doughty starts it ahead. Lightning in front 2-0. Both goals in the first period from Malone and Ted Purcell. And with the puck, it's St. Louis. Pushing it ahead. Filppula dropping it back. Schuster clears it, and the crowd enjoys the excellent penalty killing they've witnessed as Salo has returned. The Lightning weather the storm. With just over 7 minutes gone in the second period. Trevor Lewis planted there on the hit by Carl. Crombeen battles in the corner. Thompson trying to pry it loose. It does come loose, and the Lightning control it. Gudas will loft one into center ice, and the race on. Thompson ahead of the pack, and Quick says, I better get out and play this. Behind it's Crombeen, leading inside of the goal. Thompson storms in there. Mitchell reached in with his stick to win out. Carl holds his ground along the half boards. Crombeen to Labrie, has it and shoots, and it's directed away by Lewis. Off the bench, Johnson fires, that's blocked. Mitchell takes it. Knocked down by Carl. Kept it in for a moment. And away comes Jordan Nolan. Stops. Feeds it across. Here's a shot. Bishop to save there on Lewis. Dives to cover the puck. Gets a whistle. And we get pushing and shoving around that Lightning net as the Lightning from Bishop on out. Holding strong past the 8-minute mark of the second period. Facing a double minor. Being short for 4 minutes. The Lightning still lead 2-0.
Ben Bishop has been perfect so far. 18 saves, a 2-0 game, and as coincidence would have it, his first game in the National Hockey League came against Los Angeles, but improbable circumstances brought him to the ice. That was an election year. He was playing with the St. Louis Blues, and remember the vice presidential candidate Sarah Palin? She was there to drop the ceremonial puck. Nettie Legacy was the starter. Ben was to back him up. There was a red carpet rolled out to center ice. Manny tripped over the carpet when he took to the ice and was injured. In the second period, Ben Bishop came on, played well, and yet Dustin Brown, Jarrett Stahl scored against him. His club ended up losing 4-0. I don't know, though, because Sarah Palin had opened the door for him, if he actually, Rick and Chief, ended up voting for her on the Republican ticket. But he did break the ice in the National Hockey League. That is how he got an NHL appearance, and it came against these LA Kings in St. Louis back in 2008.
Great story, Paul. It's amazing how
Most guys have a routine first game. That wasn't very routine there.
no.
Of course, Ben growing up in the St. Louis area, realizing a dream, I'm sure, playing for the Blues. He was born in Denver, but grew up in St. Louis. Here's Kopitar. Backhand try, missed the net. Regere's shot is blocked by Panik and cleared by the Lightning. Regere, he played for Darryl Sutter in this building in a Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals for the Calgary Flames. Brown fumbled the pass to Panik. Filppula looks rink wide. Regere reaching out to poke it away. It comes back to Panik. Lightning on side. Nice move by Panik. Killorn shooting. Save by Quick, and he covers it up.
That's a prime example of Killorn shooting that puck from everywhere. And I think it kind of surprised Quick. He got it away quickly.
Tonight's Tampa Bay Lightning telecast in Sun Sports is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers. Yeah, Alex said his philosophy is that if you shoot and you put a puck in the skates of the goalie, that can create something for your line mates. If your line mates anticipate that you're going to do that consistently, they'll drive the net. A lot of good things can happen from there. Malone gets it in front and dribbled away from St. Louis to Carter.
This game moves so quickly, Ricky. If you have an idea what's going to happen, then you can react to it faster.
Laguda's committed on the hit. Stamkos helped to cover up. Malone's shot is snuffed out by Mitchell. St. Louis burrowing in there trying to steal the puck. White King. Stamkos blocking his path. Carter controls it. Richards deflects it out. Kopitar had been centering for Brown and Williams. That's been the usual combination. A breeze shot is blocked by Mitchell. And Sutter switching centers. Kopitar and Richards with different wingers. Here's Brewer looking toward the net. His pass across, though, cut off by Lewis. King will test Bishop from long range. And playing it around for Labrie. Got it out to center ice. Clifford with it. Poked away by Schuster. And it's into the Kings bench. Lightning have been under some heat here in the second. They have maintained the 2-0 lead.
There's our friend Phil. Played against him. What a tremendous goal scorer he was. He was so big you could hardly move him, but he didn't get real close to the goal, Rick. He would get out more by the hash marks, and it was kind of like a seam like you see receivers get. The fence was a little far for them to go out there, and a little bit too far for the forward to come back, and it was a perfect seam, and he had such great hands, and he could really shoot the puck, and he got a ton of goals from that position.
Tyler Johnson out between Purcell and Palat. Brewer carries the center. He'll slide it in deep. We've got a penalty upcoming to L.A. on the collision involving Matt Green, who will be going off.
He knocked down
LA penalty
Johnson,
number 2.
I believe.
2 minutes
Interference before he even got the puck. He didn't touch the puck. And this is the first penalty LA has had in this game. Watch, here's right here. You can see him right there. He goes for the penalty, and Green just knocks him down. So it took them 30 minutes, just over 30 minutes to get a penalty.
You can see they waved off icing on that play. It kind of looked like we were going to get an icing call, which would have moved the position of this faceoff. But the Kings from their own end win the draw, and away comes Lewis. A diving St. Louis tried to slow him up. Trevor Lewis with a backhand try, shrugged off by Bishop.
Good play by Stamkos to get back and help out Salo, too, on that play.
Lightning 31.6% on the power play, 4th in the NHL. So while they've struggled on the PK coming into this game, they've been very sharp tonight, 4 of 4. They really have excelled with the power play, as they missed on 5 chances in the opener against the Bruins. And since then, they've got 42%. Here's St. Louis shooting, and it's slowed down by Williams.
They're even better at home with the man advantage, 40%, which is ranked number 1 for a home power play.
And Carl back. Lightning have been outshot 9-2 in the second period with the pressure before, during, and after Sammy Salo double minor. Mitchell from the corner fires it. Panik got it loose. Gives it down to Johnson. Out in front of reach. Quick. A save by Quick as the pass was for Killorn. It went through him and on goal. Killorn working along those boards. Richard Panik in there as well. Mitchell looks for relief. And Filppula didn't get much time. But he does slide it out the center with 34 seconds to go on the Green penalty. Filppula. That's into that zone. Couldn't stick handle around Voinov. Kings on the kill, 84%, 10th best.
They've done a really good job of that gap control in LA's defense. They making that play pretty high up on the blue line.
Johnson across for Panik. And back by Carl to the corner. And Regehr got there ahead of Killorn. The Kings clear it out. That'll do it for the penalty. Green returns. It's still 2-0 Lightning.
They managed but one shot. I think that was that play coming out of the corner.
Malone coming back to check Dwight King. Gudas double teamed. Malone got it loose. St. Louis trying to go for it. He's met there by Doughty. Richards couldn't play it behind Carl. Richards has it, sends it in, and it ends up on Matt Carl's stick. Boy, he and Gudas played about 24 minutes, 20 seconds apiece in the game against the Penguins on Saturday night. Puck off the boards now. Nolan getting to it, racing in, dropping it. King cuts it back in, hit the side of the goal. Kings overpassing on that one. The Lightning are happy about it. Martinez stopped by the glove of Bishop. Gudas waits for things to calm down. Kings will peel off in a change, except for Jarrett Stoll, the veteran centerman.
I'll tell you what, one of the things that Lightning haven't done to this point in this period is manage that puck. They've been pretty sloppy, especially in their zone.
Edman on with Gudas for the moment, directed in by Thompson. Quick leading inside of the goal for Green, and around for Jordan Nolan. 3-on-3 as they hit the line. Nolan with a shot, steered away with a stick by Bishop. He got a stick from Lewis. Coming by the net. Mitchell lobs it in behind the goal. Thompson takes a look. He's going to meet up with Carcillo in the corner. Well, there with Trevor Lewis, the one-time first-round pick of the Kings in 2006. Williams with a shot that missed the net. Mitchell down the boards. And as the Kings try to go into their cycle here to control play in the attacking zone, the shot from the point taken by Voinov, and Bishop had enough of that, deflecting that one over the glass and out of play. 2-0 Lightning here in the second. Lightning in front. Kelly Nash is standing by.
Thanks, Rick. I want to take you, the fans at home, quickly by our Bolts Social Central wall behind me. It's located at section 128 here at the Forum. And as you can see, it's a digital video wall. It posts everything you are tweeting, Facebooking, and Instagramming about your Tampa Bay Lightning. So next time you visit, be sure to stop by, tweet something, and you will see it on the display right there on the big screen. And of course, today, this is their promotional giveaway out here. This t-shirt, no chirping, just tweeting. Doesn't get any better than that, Rick.
Thanks very much, Kelly. I want to get one of those shirts.
Yeah. Would look way out of place on me.
Back for the puck, Robin Regehr, followed by Killorn. Kopitar trailed by Val Filppula. 12-3 the shots favoring the Kings. They've had all 7 scoring chances in the second period. Lightning have allowed 8 goals, Chief, so far in the season in the second period. So while they're very good at scoring in the third, the second in the other extreme. Here's Killorn.
Yeah, you know what? And of course, one of the big things about it is they've only allowed 5 5-on-5 goals, which is really a pretty good number. That Coach Cooper likes that. Their power play has given up a number. As you pointed out, they've had a number of power play goals against, and I think that's one thing that they really wanted to cut down on. 4 power plays LA has had, 7 shots on goal total throughout the 4. And, they've done a really good job to this point of killing penalties.
Andre Palat leans in against Carter. A clean win for Carter, and it's played out to center. Carl, even though the puck was bouncing, managed to keep that away from Dwight King. He couldn't get a stick on it, but he managed to use his skates well. Richard steals. Looks to enter the zone. Gudas stepped up looking for the hit. The pass in front. Bishop, a great save there on King. Carter set him up with a cross-crease pass. Now Richards and Gudas jawing as Richards in the first period went to take Filppula's head off, missed him. Gudas stepped up on the next shift. He doesn't waste any time in responding in those situations. And now he and Richards met along the boards. Here's Purcell. Centers in front, and Palat covered by Lewis. Races on. Carcillo chasing Brewer. Carries him off to the end board. Schuster steps into his man. Carcillo tripped up his man, and we're going to get a penalty. He went down looking for a call himself, but he ended up tripping Palat. Delayed penalty upcoming to Dan Carcillo.
Boy, a real heads-up play by Bishop to get off quickly. But don't get too cute here. Just make sure you move that puck up.
And Lightning the extra skater on, and Stamkos flying into the zone. Cuts and shoots. Saved by Quick. Rebound. They score! The Lightning capitalize.
It is so difficult to handle that shot by Stamkos. And he just rifles it as he gets a nice cross-ice pass. He's in full stride right here. And there's a high shot there, and it comes off the blocker. And it's right there. Marty gets the kind of a back little flip from Schuster, and then fires that forehand by and off the pad of goaltender Quick, and the Lightning will get the goal. St. Louis will pick up his third.
Now Quick is coming off, and Ben Scrivens, who had the 3-0 shutout in South Florida Sunday afternoon, acquired from Toronto for Jonathan Bernier, is taking over, inheriting a 3-0 deficit as Quick playing 36 minutes and 22 seconds and allowing 3 goals and 17 shots.
Boy, I'll tell you, though, he just rifled that shot, and it came off the blocker, too. So when you get a guy that can shoot the puck like that, as a goaltender, you just want to get in front of him so that you can make the save. It's very tough to control that rebound.
Stoll starts it ahead. And it's gloved by Bishop. He'll hang on. The Kings with all the pressure in the second period. A penalty was going to be called on Dan Carcillo for a trip at one end of the ice. And the Lightning score at the other end. Marty St. Louis putting home the rebound of the Stamkos shot to make it 3-0.
The Stamkos will get up to 1 assist. Here you take a look at Jonathan Quick.
Andre Schuster earns his first National Hockey League point. It looked like with him driving the net with St. Louis, he might end up with a goal.
Yeah, exactly. He kind of tipped it right onto Marty for the forehander.
Well, congratulations to Schuster. St. Louis in this game getting his 900th Lightning point. Schuster getting his first point. Stamkos hands it down to Malone. Knocked down by Carter. Stamkos and the Lightning reorganize quickly with St. Louis stepping into the zone. Run out maneuver Mitchell. Gudas over for Carl. Wrists it in front just wide as Malone was screening Scrivens. The Cornell product. Malone's pass out in front. It's taken away. Richards fires it into the Lightning bench. 2:35 remaining here in the second period. Well, stay tuned for the Honda second intermission report. Victor Hedman joins Paul. We'll introduce you to tonight's community hero. Dave Andrechuk provides analysis of the first 40 minutes. Chief with me with some comments as well as highlights and stats.
Well, they wanted to make sure that they played better in their zone. And that's been the real thought process throughout this whole early part of the season, all through training camp, and they've done a real good job with that right now.
Edmund plays it off the boards, and Scrivens a save as it's jammed right on net by Killorn. And Edmund, we've seen him make that play before.
Yeah, that's, again, we talk about knowing your building, and you can see it. Had he gone towards the net with that shot, it could have been blocked very, very easily. But he knows that those are very lively dasher boards, and he just got it right out there, and Killorn was waiting for it. And so was Scrivens.
A smart play. You can see Williams had the angle right there. So as you mentioned, Chief, A, he doesn't get it through. B, it could end up in a breakaway the other way. And C, he ends up choosing to use the end boards and creates a good scoring chance. Panik keeping the pressure on. Brown curls back to take the pass. Over for Justin Williams. Hedman there to meet him. Puck left side of the goal. It's tapped in front. Down. He fires. And it's stopped in front there as it comes back to Regehr. Kopitar playing it back for Williams. 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Lightning have added to their lead and the goal by St. Louis. Starting on his next 900 Lightning point. Costello out there without a helmet. Williams to Regehr. Loads up. Saved by Bishop. Rebound knocked loose. He's on top of it. Whistle blows with a crowd ensuing around that Lightning net.
Boy, there's no recourse for a goalie or for a defenseman. You can't really protect anybody in front there. And watch when it comes down, there's loose and they can just jam away at it. Ben Bishop's able to cover it up.
Chief, he said the other day that his injury occurred on the second goal by the Panthers, Jonathan Huberdeau, and it wasn't necessarily moving to the shot. He said I was stretched out, and Huberdeau collided with it. He actually used his stick as he finished his move and hit Bishop's leg, and he felt something stretched there. Quickly back in, but tonight he's had that tested on numerous occasions, and it looks like he's all right.
Yeah, he did mention, I know when he had that Friday off, Saturday he didn't play and wasn't even dressed, and then of course the day off Sunday, that really helped him because he had a real good workout on Monday.
Richards' pass deflected. Carter had it pried loose as three members of the Lightning were there. There's a save by Bishop. Rebound set by King over the net. King will try, and that's knocked down. Comes back to the point. Voinov will take it at center. A minute to go in the second.
This is the last of the play of the period.
I'll tell you what, he's done a good job of handling the pressure, but it's a lot of it has been their own doing. They've been really giving the puck away, making sloppy passes, and not making the plays at the blue line when you need to.
Well, here's a look at the road ahead for the Lightning, brought to you by Toyota. And the Wild coming in Thursday. The Boston Bruins, first of two get-togethers here in Tampa with the Lightning on Saturday. And it doesn't get any easier with Chicago coming in the following week, and Buffalo finally finishes off the 7-game homestand. Puck chopped away by Schuster. Wild playing well, looked good in a win over the Sabres last night. And Minnesota at 3-1-2 so far in the season. They're playing in Toronto tonight. Puck directed in by Malone. Doughty pressured by Stamkos.
He doesn't look good in Buffalo at this point. He is really struggling, the Sabres.
They're looking for a win on the island against Capuano's boys. Panik easing it off the boards, waiting for that horn, and there it sounds. So the Lightning under extreme pressure in the first half of this second period. Weathered the storm with brilliant goaltending by Bishop. They were shorthanded for 4 minutes on the double minor to Salo. And on a delayed penalty signal, the extra attacker on, Marty St. Louis scores from Stamkos and Schuster at 16:22. And skate off with a 3-0 lead through 40 minutes of play. Tampa Bay Lightning Hockey and Sun Sports is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. By Checkers, feast on. And by Nissan during Nissan's Easy Choice sales event. The choice is easy. The savings are big. Shop at ChooseNissan.com. Well, a short drive or even a walk or a trolley ride from Ybor City. We're here at the Tampa Bay Times Forum. The Lightning have a 3-0 lead through 40 minutes of play against the Kings. And Chief, the offense, we've had defensemen chipping in on every goal. We've had St. Louis a goal and an assist, but this third period's all got to be about defense and holding off what should be a pretty good Kings charge.
And we're kind of happy that Ben Bishop had those 3 days rest over the weekend, because he'll be tested and tested rather strongly, I believe, in this third period. But You know what? We saw in the first period there, once the Lightning scored that first goal, there was a stretch of about 6.5 to 7 minutes where the Kings were really all top of them. They weathered the storm. Then they came back and really played a very solid remainder of that first period. I expect that to happen here in the third. I know the coaches would probably remind them that manage the puck better. Don't give them any more chances in your offensive zone than need to be.
Let's update the numbers for you. Shots 15-7 LA in that second period. You see where that brings us in the totals. And remember, the scoring chances were even after one. LA with all sorts of pressure with that 4-minute power play situation during the first 10 minutes. They had a goal called back. And the Lightning with 18 shots, 5 from Alex Killorn. Victor Hedman on the other side has blocked 6 shots.
Yeah, Alex had 4 alone in that period, and he's a gunner.
Well, the line of Malone, Stamkos, St. Louis, each member of that line a +2 to this point of the game. We'll start this third period. The puck deflected out of play by Jeff Carter.
Well, see, you know, you try to get your strength against strength. It looks like that's what they're trying to do here with the Carter and Richards line. There was some talk that Carter was going to play alongside Kopitar before this game started, with the 2 top scorers together. But Carter and Richards have played on the same unit for quite a while now. They're much more familiar with each other.
Well, let's answer. We will have our answer for our LRE trivia question in just a few moments. So we'll heighten the drama as play continues. It's dumped in and Doughty back for it. Bergère checked in there. It's swept off the boards and by Saloin down the ice. Hedman watched by Carter. Malone relays it. Stamkos out of St. Louis, feeding it back, and Stamkos tied up there by Doughty. Malone got dumped. Away come the Kings. 4-on-3. Richards into the zone. Takes the shot. He sends it wide. Killorn will take it. Doughty lines him up. Killorn, great move. Goes inside. He's stopped by Scrivens. The rebound. He fires. It's knocked down in front. As Filppula with it. Penalty upcoming to L.A. Filppula chased to the line by King. And now L.A. controls and hooking the call. At the 1-minute mark, Doughty goes off. A great move by Killorn set this up.
Hooking, I believe, will be the call on Doughty. But 1 minute even. And, you know, interesting thing about it is the fact that, watch the speed. He really had the speed. A big play right there. And a good job by the Bergère to take him out. But look, he just turned Doughty around. I don't think Doughty expected that Killorn would have that strength of speed to do that. And then right here, the shot, I believe, hit Killorn when he was lying in the net.
And Panik took it. And they are going to have a look at this, apparently. Let's look at it from the Fletcher cam, as we call it.
There it is right there. I think it might.
Wow.
You know what? It might have hit him on the side of the leg.
Off the line.
Watch it. That's up. But then watch here. This is the shot. Oh no! It just see the overhead, and the key would be right in this area here. See it? I think it. Yeah, it hit Killorn, I believe.
Yeah, it looked like it hit him just outside of the net. Of course, he ends up sliding his entire body in the net. Eventually, Alex Killorn looking on very anxiously as they're replaying it on Lightning Vision here. Hard to miss here at the Tampa Bay Times Forum.
Yeah.
Dan O'Rourke is on the headset.
I think you can see it down in Orlando.
Ben Scrivens coming in late in the second period, inheriting a 3-0 deficit. And he's held off the Lightning to this point, facing 2 shots unofficially. As O'Rourke finishes up with video replay and the War Room in Toronto. Let's see Lemelin will make the announcement.
Call on the ice stands, no goal.
And they say it is no goal, so the Lightning will embark on this power play chance with Doughty in the box a minute into play in the third. Tyler Johnson wins the draw back for Filppula. Carl. Relayed back to Carl. Filppula. Now with Killorn on the near side. Killorn's been firing pucks and stopping a few as well. Almost broke free out in front, and the puck is gathered in by Lewis and cleared.
That one shift there, you see how LA was very, very quick to the puck here, really harassing him and pressuring him, and that's what the Lightning want to have with their penalty kill. And they've done a real good job of it tonight.
Vince Galap on the nifty penalty killer, or I should say stick handler, Valtteri Filppula, and steal the puck and clear it. 1:15 to go on the penalty to Doughty. Salo starts it ahead. St. Louis on. Eddie Purcell cutting through. Malone challenged by Carter. Salo backs him up. Salo has it again. His shot was directed away, and they're looking for a breakaway with Carter, but the pass off his skates and down the ice. Purcell starts it ahead. Hands it to Malone. Sails it across. St. Louis skates into it. Stamkos relaying it back. Salo keeps it on the boards. Regehr right there. And it's pitchforked ahead by Stoll. Coming over Stamkos. Gets the line, leaving it. St. Louis on the quick stop. Makes the play to Purcell. And Gudas with a try. That's blocked by Kopitar. The race on for that puck. A penalty upcoming to Gudas. If the Lightning control it here, and they will, and he will go for an interference penalty as he held up Kopitar in that race for the puck. 7 seconds remaining on the Doughty penalty. Was not much of a power play for the Lightning.
None at all, really. It couldn't get the
Tampa
puck
Bay
in the
number
zone
7, 2 minutes
and make one
interference.
pass, and the aggressiveness of LA was way too much for them to handle, and you saw it right there. It comes back. As soon as that puck comes back, and they had one guy back, and boy, LA sees that, reads it quite well, and Kopitar gets on it very, very quickly and creates a situation in 7 seconds for them to get their 5th power play.
Nate Thompson on 67% coming into the faceoff circle so far in the early season. Brisebois tosses him out. It will be Crombie to go against Kopitar.
These guys.
On the point, Voinov shooting it. Got slowed down by Schuster, who's out there covering the point. And he'll now come off as Doughty returns. 5-on-4 skater advantage for Los Angeles. Trailing 3-0. 3 minutes gone in the third. Voinov to center. Trying to chip it in. He did so off Carter. Lightning changing. Kopitar winds it up. Continues on into the zone. Carter roaring in there, shooting. Bishop a save. Rebound behind the net. Now played back to Jarrett Stoll. Mike Richards looks, fires, blocked by Salo. Kopitar feeds it out to Stoll. Stoll again. Kopitar looks, he'll wind, he'll fire. Knocked out in front, saved by Bishop, and the rebound tried by Kopitar. Out in front, or by Carter, I should say, and he hangs onto the puck, and the whistle blows with 1:05 to go on the Gudas penalty. Jeff Carter very active on this Kings power play. He's their leading goal scorer.
That's when you see just a little bit of difference in the penalty kill. We saw LA all over the puck here. Right here, the Lightning are a little bit back, allowing them to make that play. As you see that shot, you hate to see that scrum when the goalie's on his knees and is bent backwards. Always worried about knees and muscle pulls.
LA using its timeout. Now let's have a look at our LRA trivia question. We'll have the answer for you here. Who are the only 2 U.S.-born captains of Stanley Cup champions? Darian Hatcher in '99 with the Dallas Stars, and Dustin Brown, native of upstate New York, member of the LA Kings. And the one in 2012, and there he is raising the cup.
It's quite the feeling.
From Ithaca, New York. Darian Hatcher, of course, from the Detroit area. And Brown, first-round pick of the Kings in 03, and part of this group that they really had to learn how to win, this core of Kopitar, who came on board in 05, and Brown in 03, and Quick's been here 7 years, and Stoll's been here a while. And I was talking to Jarrett Stoll today about their core. It's been here for a while, and it really takes some time to grow together. Obviously, that's what Steve Yzerman and the Lightning are shooting for here with the younger team. And we've seen plenty of evidence, Chief, with the parade of Stanley Cup champions coming up in the Lightning schedule. Boston, Chicago, Pittsburgh, and L.A., the last 4 winners. That's how they've all been built for these cores.
Yeah, it's not an instant job, and it's not an overnight job.
That puck directed wide by Kopitar, set up by Richards. Doughty with the drive. That is blocked by St. Louis. Doughty again fires, and he missed the net past a screen Bishop. St. Louis continues out there trying to shake off that shot block. And Voinov chased to center by Filppula. 10 seconds to go now on the Gudas penalty.
Interesting thing, they had Filppula out there and Stamkos. Stamkos took the draw. Won the draw, then got off, and then Marty came back and replaced it.
Penalty over to Gudas. Bishop another stop from a sharp angle. Williams leaving it for Brown. Out to the point to Doughty. Point off. Pass was deflected. Doughty fires. Saved by Bishop. And it deflects out of play. Just past the 5-minute mark of this third period. The Tampa Bay area BMW Centers want to remind you to tune in Thursday. The Lightning hosting the Minnesota Wild. Pregame starts at 7 p.m. on Sun Sports. Presented by the Tampa Bay area BMW Centers. Now we're going to see a couple of familiar faces on that Wild bench. Rick Wilson, former Lightning assistant on that staff, as is Daryl Sador.
Boy, there's Marty's block. It got him on the inside of his right foot. Not a whole lot of padding there. Yeah, talking to Tommy Mulligan about it. That skate's not coming off until the final whistle goes, believe me.
Now, St. Louis, we talk about his brilliance in creating offense, and how about his longevity? Broke his leg back in 2002, and almost strung together 500 consecutive games. Starting on a new streak now, so he's been able to go out there and take the pounding night in, night out through this great career he's had. Gudas with a straight shot on Carcillo. Here's Martinez shooting, and it's deflected to the corner by Nolan. Return pass taken over by Thompson. Comes off Johnson's stick. Now Nolan lost it. Martinez shoots, and a save by Bishop. And Johnson takes it. And scrambling right now around the Lightning net.
One thing they're going to do, they're going to wait till they get that line change.
Lawrence circles with it.
I wonder if Dean Smith designed that play. Looked like the old four-corner stall.
Anna catches up to that rolling puck with speed, joined by Killorn, trying to deal it back to Hedman. But Carter in good shape defensively there. Now Killorn takes it, lets it go, blocked in front, Filppula with a try, stopped by Scrivens, and he covers up. 13:24 to go here in the third period. It's a 3-0 Lightning lead.
Every one of the 5 except for Gudas. The only one on the 6 that have played most of the games that haven't got a point.
Scrivens a save on the shot by Hedman right from a face-off win.
But with Radko Gudas, he makes up for it for all the hits that he gets. 21 hits already for Radko, and he's got that makes him in the top 10, 6 to be exact.
Offside the call against the Lightning. Ben Scrivens coming from Toronto, as we noted. And you see his mask. It's decorated in the style of Shakespearean plays. He's got some passages from Macbeth. And, just very well educated at Cornell.
Yeah.
And to add to that, Chief, his wife was the goaltender on the women's team at Cornell while he was the goaltender in the men's team. Puck kicked away by Gudas. It's played away by Carl to the corner. By the way, she's a native of Southern California, so this deal from Toronto to the Kings really worked out for the Scrivens family.
They call him Professor because of that.
Mitchell. Pass off Kopitar's stick, rolls all the way back to Bishop. Will let it miss the net. They waved off icing. Gudas with it. Kings changing. Pass ahead for St. Louis. Met there and roughed up by Jordan Nolan. Gudas takes it. Ryan Malone. The chip in charge here. Stamkos with speed. In on Regeer. Shoved him to the end boards. Nolan had it ripped off his stick by St. Louis. Comes back at the point. Brewer looks toward the net for traffic. Shoots. And it's tipped just off the side of the goal. Malone on the wraparound is stopped by Scrivens. Ryan Malone going to take advantage of those shallower nets. And a quicker path to the front to jam home the wraparound, but was stopped there.
You see it getting to the boards again. You have to make sure you win those puck battles, and boy, that shot came in and just almost knocked off a Ryan Malone's skate again, but he was able to grab a hold of it, and Scrivens covering up on the short side. Again, he pointed out he's only the fourth goalie in LA history to get a shutout in his first game, and he's got 3 career shutouts, with 2 of them have come against the Panthers.
The Kings coming in here with a 3-game winning streak, and their goaltending certainly doing its job. They provided the team with a .945 team save percentage during the streak, but the Lightning have put a serious dent in that with 2 goals in the first period and goals by Malone and Purcell, and another one in the second for Marty St. Louis. Malone moves it back to the defense to get things organized. Andre Schuster fires the pass to Purcell, right on target. Takes it in stride, is stood up on the check there by Mitchell. Palat came storming into that corner. Away come the Kings. Williams stood up here by Sammy Salo. Hedman reaching in for the puck. Kopitar trying to step away with it. He does. Has Hedman on his back. Still with it. Voinov lines up the shot, fires, it's blocked in front. Williams try, net's knocked away by Palat, who arrived in time to help out.
He does everything so well, Palat. He does all the little things. The best part of it is that strong defensive play.
Weston Brown shrugs off a check, feeds the point. Williams with it. Pass was tipped by Johnson away from Kopitar. And Purcell right there to steal the Brown pass. Lugs it to center. And will head to the bench in a change with 10.5 to go in the third. Voinov punched in there on the hit by Labrie. Matt Pratt with a try. And that's deflected away by Matt Carl. Bring your children to a Lightning game and save big with the $12 kids ticket. It's 14 and under. Get a terrace level ticket for only $12 with a purchase of an adult ticket at the McDonald's ticket office only. This offer is good through November 14th.
I think they've managed the game pretty well here. You know, one of the things you see now is 10-20. We'll watch probably in the next 2 to 3 minutes, and LA will really try to jump up there and increase the pressure to come up and get on that scoreboard.
Nice defensive zone face-off win by Thompson. That will push the play down the other end of the ice where the Lightning would prefer to be here for these last 10 minutes. Bromby, Thompson, Labrie working hard in that LA zone. From the point, it's Carl. Misfires, gets it back. Scrivens out to set it up. Woodstall reverses for Doughty. Kings have to work a bit to get to center. Matt Fratton does that. Brett got off to a good start last year with the Leafs, then hurt his knee. Found himself part of this team. Earl Sutter says we're still learning about him at this point. He comes up with a puck here. Sliding it now. Voinov shoots. Scores! Slava Voinov. He went top corner on the glove side of Bishop. And the Kings on the board. It's 3-1 Lightning.
10:27, just hard work on that line. They just out-battled the Lightning, took the puck away on a number of occasions and won the battles to set up that play. Voinov gets that shot. It comes right off the left shoulder and up high to break the snide, and he picks up his first goal of the year. And again, one where they seem to have that puck under control, but the Kings just outworked them and got it loose and fired in the goal to make it a 3-1 lead.
Green dumps the puck in from center. Well, Voinov, last year the Kings' run to the Western Conference Final had 6 goals, 4 game-winning goals, and a +9. And they were finally ousted by the Blackhawks in 5 games and went on to win the Cup in 6 against the Bruins.
And number 28, Garrett Stoll.
Every time he looked up, he was scoring the game-winning goal.
Los Angeles goal. Voinov from Fratton and Stoll at 10:27.
That Fratton, Jarrett Stoll get the assists on the goal by Voinov at 10:27. Bishop out to play the puck. Brings it off the glass. Lands for Green, who shoots. A save by Bishop off a deflection. I think Carter got that in front.
I think you got to be a little bit more aggressive and kind of waiting back, you know, and kind of seeing and trying to react instead of forcing LA to react to them a little bit. There's still a lot of time in this game. They have to initiate a lot longer.
Carter chips it over the center ice zone. Schuster gets his stick on it. Checked in there by Brown. Brewer across for Panik. Killorn controls it. Brings it in. Challenging Doughty. Heads to the corner, overskates it. Kopitar there for Williams. He threw it across to Brown. Brown gets the red line. Couldn't dump it in against Big Schuster. Killorn back. Just flips it out to center ice. Justin Williams backhands it in. Schuster pounded there by Williams, sends it off his stick and out of play, and the draw will come to center. 8:10 to go in the third period. Kings on the board. The Lightning leading this one 3-1.
Page at TV Lightning to find out how to take that tie home. Now, if you can't come out to the game, be sure to follow our very first social media night on Twitter at Sun Sports Bolts. We'll have a lot of interesting trivia, prizes, and we'll engage you guys as best as we can and get you involved in our telecast. Everything for a great cause on Thursday night. Back up to you, Rick.
Thanks, Kelly. We get a whistle as the Lightning set to mount a 3-on-1 break.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if Ed Johnson picked that puck up initially, they would have had a 3-on-1 rear, but he put himself offside. I tell you, it would have been a tremendous scoring opportunity for that trio. And that's the thing now, you know, you got just under 8 minutes going. LA's down by 2. They're gonna take chances. They're gonna gamble a lot to try and get within 1, and that might lead to some odd rad rushes for the Lightning.
Now the Lightning will put the Stamkos crew on. Gudas challenged in there by Richards. Shrugged that off, but Doughty waiting at the point. Puck's on edge, and it's deflected off Malone. Comes back to Mike Richards in the corner. He's shoved to the boards by Gudas. Carter tried to center, and it pinballed off Stamkos. Doughty down the boards. Backed up now by Richards. Wrists it across, looking for King. Knocked free, and it's Stamkos and St. Louis 2-on-1. Regier back. Drop pass Malone. The St. Louis scores! The big line comes through with a huge goal. 4-1 with 7:20 to go.
Will be the time of St. Louis' second of the game, fourth of the year. But again, we point out that they'll take extra chances, and it produces odd man rushes, and it did right off the bat. And it would look like it was a 2-on-2, and then very quickly Malone moved up And had he not done that, they wouldn't have been able to get that puck back to the slot and then quickly right over to Marty St. Louis. And the pass was perfect. It was behind Marty because he could take it on the forehand and one-time it. And it is a 4-1 lead now with just over 7 minutes remaining.
Boy, and he waited to the last instant to make that play and commit on it, too.
Yep.
Here's a steal by Hedman, a quick shot that's wide. Richard Panik getting to it. The Lightning trying to quell the uprising here by the Kings after the goal by Voynov. And St. Louis with his second goal of the night. Malone a goal and an assist. Stamkos a pair of assists. Marty a three-point night. With a big line coming through, and you made the point, Chief, right before they dropped the puck that the Kings might take some chances and the Lightning could capitalize. They did, and they had the right guys on to do it.
Well, I'll say good defense, again, points out that can really produce that. And of course, with Doughty, he moved in a little bit more. If it had been a closer game or they went down by 2, he would have probably stayed back more. But you got to make that chance. You got to take that chance to get back in the game, and he did, and it backfired.
Puck deflected by Brewer. Across for Andre Schuster, out ahead for Palat. And sure, he hangs onto that puck, surrounded by Kings. Tyler Johnson knocked down by Green. Carcillo back for the Kings. Looks it in. Gudas takes it.
One thing I've really noticed, Rick, about those guys, especially that young line, they can really handle those hard passes.
And we get a whistle and a holding penalty upcoming here. 5:38 to go in the third. The Lightning leading by the count of 4-1. This goal by St. Louis has gotten the job done. Now it's time to vote in the Steak and Shake 3 Stars of the Game Twitter poll. Vote hashtag TBL1 for Ben Bishop. TBL2, Marty St. Louis, Ryan Malone, Steven Stamkos, Victor Hedman, the other candidates. Wow, we continue at this pace, Chief. That's really going to be a tough vote. And, of course, we'll have the results in Lightning Live postgame.
It will be. And I think when you take a look at it, one of the things I've really watched, Rick, and we pointed that out earlier, where Steven Stamkos really struggled in the first couple of games in the faceoff circle, but he's been really solid since that.
Saddle, keep it on the perimeter here, gets it back from St. Louis. Penalty to Jarrett Stoll for holding at 14:22. Third Lightning power play. They're 0 for 2. Purcell swings away from Trevor Lewis. He'll shoot it in. Scrivens slows it down. Mitchell with Malone right on him. Kopitar, nice move to get away from Stamkos.
Right now, it just looks like the Lightning want to kill the 2 minutes.
St. Louis steps in with Malone. Dropping it back for Carl. Stamkos up top now. And he'll play it back for Carl. They continue to play keep away with it. Malone down low. Sends it across. A shot. Stamkos is blocked. He gets it back.
Doughty, I think, got a bit on it, didn't he?
I believe so. Here's St. Louis. Purcell had it tapped free by King, who has the LA shorthanded goal so far this year. Purcell with it. Now to St. Louis. Now to Malone. His room to walk in on Scrivens. Stopped as he dove out with a stick. Purcell with a backhand just wide. It's fired away by Regier. Back through center with 32 seconds to go in a Stoll penalty.
They've had a couple really good chances, but not an official shot on goal. It's been blocked before it's got there.
Well, the 3-goal lead late. They can afford to be a little more patient. They did develop a lot of activity around Scrivens. Here comes Killorn. Now to Panik shooting. And his stick breaks just as he's ready to unleash the shot. And an easy cover for Ben Scrivens.
Oh, man, he's got to be disappointed because he can shoot the puck.
Well, tonight's Tampa Bay Lightning telecast on Sun Sports is presented by your Tampa Bay area BMW centers.
Now, Richard Panik, we've seen him fire that puck, Rick, and he had that side going ready to go top shelf, and that shaft broke right in half.
Picked up his first 2 points of the season in the Penguin game. Assists. Wants to get that first goal. But the puck, it's Filppula from a sharp angle back for Killorn. Around for Filppula. Stoll set to come out. He's returned. Kings have killed 3 penalties. The Lightning have killed 5. And certainly has had a bigger role in where we are at 4-1 right now. Stoll shot deflected away by Gudas. Comes off the back glass. Out in front. Backhand trying to stop by Bishop. As Stoll came by the net. He's working to come up with another chance. Martinez missed the net with a shot. Filppula checked there by Stoll. Gudas steps into Voinov. Martinez down the boards. It's worked free out in front. Gudas has it. He'll hoist it to center, forcing the Kings defense to go back. Both teams want to make a change under 3 minutes to go in the third. Played by Dustin Brown. Gudas looks over his shoulder. He's got Kopitar on him. Brown's pass deflected. Williams couldn't get his stick on the bouncing puck in the slot. And Gudas once again lifts it out. He wants to get to the bench.
Williams was making sure he missed that big check that was coming as well.
Thompson carries it in. Drops it back. Crombie with a shot. It's wide as Scrivens was bumped into in a collision involving Justin Williams and Nate Thompson. Brown takes it. He'll slip it in behind the defense to Williams. Now Bishop's got to stay put as that puck took a funny hop off the end boards and stayed in the restricted area. Mitchell lobs it to the corner, high off the glass. Carl is pressured. Lewis comes up with a puck for the Kings. Knocked loose. Saved though. Doughty on the backhand with a slot. It's tipped on goal by Carcillo and a save by Bishop. Took that one off the chest. Schuster checked against the boards there by Lewis. Away comes Johnson. Teddy Purcell with a minute and a half to go. Tried to center, blocked by Doughty. It bounces though to Palat. Sends it across the shot. Saves Scrivens. As here's a try to Palat. He scores! They converge from all directions around the Kings net to make it 5-1.
Boy, it looked like they had the goal a couple of times before that got to Palat. Right there, Scrivens makes a big save off of Johnson. The rebound came out. They just fired it out to get it out of trouble as it came off of Teddy Purcell. And you see, and then it got right to Palat who put it through the wickets of the defenseman out there. And Andre Palat gets number 2 on the year. I believe Johnson and Purcell should pick up the assists on it.
Lightning with a 5-1 lead, 1:05 to play. Shots have favored LA, 31-25.
This is the last minute of play in the period.
Mitchell flinging down to Carter. Long shot handled by Bishop. Wants to keep the clock moving as Victor Hedman sails one to center, and it's knocked down by Mitchell. Hedman running into the referee. That was O'Rourke on his way to the puck. King on the forecheck. Stamkos reverses. Salo after it. Hedman has Malone waiting on the wing. Double teamed. It comes back to Hedman. Salo lets it go to center with 22 seconds to go. Lightning will go to 2-1 on the homestand. 4-2 on the season. And it will be their 4th win in the last 5 games. And the crowd of better than 16,000 rising and applauding the efforts of the home squad tonight. Ben Bishop, fantastic in goal with 30 saves, plenty of support, especially from the top line. 5-1, the final score. Be sure to tune in immediately following this game for Lightning Live postgame presented by Mazda. Tonight we'll have reaction from the locker room, highlights and stats, as well as analysis from Dave Andrechuk and the Chief and myself. All that and more presented by Mazda. They'll Ben Bishop now a perfect 4-0 on the season and improves what has already been an impressive goals against average and save percentage with his performance tonight. Join us Thursday night, Lightning Live pregame with the Lightning and Wild at 7 o'clock. The game at 7:30. Lightning Live postgame presented by Mazda next.